Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. It's been over a month since I have posted any videos. However, today I'm going to show you how I reused some soap scraps to make a new soap. I've seen others reuse their soap by using grated soap shavings and then melting it down and rebatching it that way. However, I was wondering if I could just do it by using pieces of soap that I have. So follow along and I'll show you what I did. And at the end of the video, as always, I'll talk with you about what went well, what did not go so well, and what I learned from the soap making experience. Okay, so here I am with my poor broken soap. As you can see, it's not so glamorous, but I am going to talk with you all about what went well, because there are some things that went well, as well as the very obvious what did not go well. And there are some things that I learned from this experience. So because it's so obvious, I'm going to start with what did not go well. And of course, that is the fact that the soap broke when I cut it. This is actually the first time I've had a soap break while I was cutting it, but I will say I knew pretty much right away when I started taking it out of the mold. I could feel that it was not just hard, but it was also dry. And usually when I take a soap out of the mold, there's at least a little moisture that's still left in it. I can still feel that it's somewhat soft, if that makes sense, because of the amount of moisture in it. But this one felt pretty dry, and I knew that this might be a tricky one to cut. So that is why I actually switched from, first I had my wire cutter out, but then I switched to the one, just the regular one where I can cut down on it. So I'll talk a little bit more about the hardness of the soap in a little bit. But I did want to mention something about the embeds. So the embeds, since they're already fully cured pieces of soap, I knew that there was a likelihood for those to break. And for that reason, I did try to make them smaller so that they weren't as chunky within the soap. And actually, they did kind of break, but I'm not sure if they broke on their own or if they broke because the soap around it was breaking. I kind of get the sense that it was the latter. I say that because in the parts where the lighter soap batter did not break, it actually is a pretty clean cut for the embeds. But I'm saying all that to say, I think the embeds might have been successful and they may not have broken on their own if it was not for the batter around it. As for what went well with this soap, I ended up using a 50-50 lye solution. For those of you who do not know, what that means is that I use the same amount of lye as I used water. A lot of times people use a higher percentage of the water and a little bit lower percentage of the lye, but I used a 50-50 lye solution, which meant that the soap would naturally harden quicker within the mold. And typically that's a good thing. You want the soap to harden fairly quickly in the mold because you're anticipating cutting it and you want to go ahead and get it out so that you may cut it. But me being negligent of that fact, got busy, let my day go on, cut it the next day. And that was a little too much time in the mold for this soap. I poured the soap in the afternoon. In hindsight, I would have checked it and possibly cut it that night before I went to bed. I'm saying all of that to say the 50-50 lye solution, it actually went well. It's just that I waited too long to cut the soap. That's when it became a problem. Another thing that went well was that the soap batter hugged the soap embeds pretty tightly. What I did not want was space between the embeds and the soap batter. That would have happened if I would have poured the soap batter when it was too thick of a trace, or if I didn't make sure that I placed the embeds properly within the soap batter. So that was definitely something that went well also. And that leads me to what I learned from this soaping experience. I will try embedding soap scraps again into another soap. As soap makers, we all have various scraps that we have left over from soaps. We have soaps that may have lost a little of their scent over time, or a soap that had an imperfection, so you wouldn't really want to gift that out to someone. So with all these little pieces of soap that we have laying around, it is fun to be able to make something new and creative with it. I use lemongrass essential oil because I knew that the embed still had a little bit of scent left over, and lemongrass goes so well with so many different scents, such as peppermint or eucalyptus. So it made for a really nice lemongrass scented soap. And any other scent that was remaining from the soaps that were embedded, you really can't smell them. If you have an approach to recycling your soap scraps that works really well for you, feel free to comment with any suggestions you have for recycling your soap pieces. If you like this video or found it useful, please hit the like button. And lastly, if you're interested in seeing more of my content, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to sharing more of my soap making adventures with you soon. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye.